Zimbabwe's incoming leader revealed recent plots to kill him as he addressed huge crowds outside the ruling party's headquarters. Emmerson Mnangagwa today made his first public appearance since returning to the country after going into hiding. He fled the country in fear of his life after being sacked by Robert Mugabe, who stepped down yesterday amid a week-long military coup. He told onlookers, on the August 12th, "I was subjected to poisoning that resulted in my being airlifted to South Africa." Emmerson Mnangagwa first public speech: "I thank you, the people of Zimbabwe, for your prayers. I survived that poisoning. This time around I said to myself I should not wait for them to eliminate me but let me go out and with you the people of Zimbabwe make your voice be heard. Today, this evening, I feel so humbled that you remained here until this hour at our headquarters waiting for me, that you see me and I see you." Supporters of Emmerson Mnangagwa, the man expected to become Zimbabwe's new president and known as the Crocodile, hold a stuffed crocodile and pictures of him as they cheer at Manyama Air Force Base in Harare. Zimbabweans celebrate in the morning sun after President Robert Mugabe resigned in Harare, Zimbabwe. Zimbabweans drink, dance, sing and ride on cars as they celebrate at night at an intersection in downtown Harare. Zimbabweans celebrate after President Robert Mugabe resigns in Harare. Zimbabweans celebrate after President Robert Mugabe resigns in Harare. Zimbabweans celebrate in neighboring Hillbrow, Johannesburg, South Africa. Zimbabweans celebrate after Zimbabwe's President Robert Mugabe resigned in Harare. Zimbabweans drink, sing, and dance on top of passing vehicles as they celebrate at night at an intersection in downtown Harare. Zimbabweans celebrate in the streets of Harare. Zimbabweans celebrate after hearing about the resignation of President Robert Mugabe in Harare. Zimbabweans celebrate after hearing about the resignation of President Robert Mugabe in Harare. People and soldiers celebrate after the resignation of Zimbabwe's president. People holding Zimbabwean flags celebrate in the street after the resignation of Zimbabwe's president. Zimbabwe's members of parliament celebrate after Mugabe's resignation. Zimbabweans celebrate after hearing about the resignation of President Robert Mugabe in Harare. Zimbabweans celebrate after hearing about the resignation of President Robert Mugabe in Harare. Zimbabweans celebrate in Harare. People celebrate in the streets after the resignation of Zimbabwe's president Robert Mugabe. Zimbabwe's members of parliament celebrate after Mugabe's resignation. He was introduced as president-in-waiting by a speaker who praised Zimbabwe's military as the most disciplined army in the world during the past week's events. Mnangagwa said the country will witness a new and unfolding democracy and revealed he had written a letter to Mugabe saying, "The people have spoken." He added that he pressure to derail the process of getting Mugabe to step down was intense but insisted the will of the people will always succeed. Robert Mugabe resigns as Zimbabwe's president after 37 years. He said he told the former president, "You yourself said if the people said I must step down you shall comply. The voice of the people is the voice of God." Stepping up, Emmerson Mnangagwa up. Today we are witnessing the dawn of a new and unfolding democracy in our country. Mnangagwa thanked military officials who helped remove Mugabe from power and branded his predecessor, the former president of Zimbabwe. Crowds roared in celebration as the president-elect has also pledged jobs for Zimbabweans. He asked for cooperation from fellow African nations, and speaking in the Shona language, he repeatedly backed ZANU-PF and said down with enemies. Mnangagwa is due to be sworn in on Friday.